Are you ready to take the leap into fine writing fountain pens, but don't necessarily want to break the bank? Well, that's what this video is here for you today. Maybe you've done some research online and you're seeing the same pens over and over again get recommended. That's cool, like definitely look at those, but we wanted to feature some that maybe aren't getting mentioned quite as much. So here are our top 8 underrated fountain pens. First up on the list is the Jinhao Shark. Now this is the most affordable of the bunch at under $5. It's one of the best value writing experiences I think you'll find in the fountain pen world. It has a stainless steel hooded nib, and it's got a triangular grip that's going to help to hold your hand in the proper position. Really great starter fountain pen. And it even comes with a converter for bottled ink. And it comes in 12 different colors, so you can mix and match and have a lot of fun. Next up, we have the Diplomat Magnum. This is a pen that has really come on strong onto the pen world scene in 2018. It's a high quality pen for under $25. It's German made, has a JoWo steel nib, and the nib itself is a little bit springy. It's got a little bit of bounce to it, very smooth, very pleasurable writing experience. And because the pen's really light, it's great for long writing sessions. And it comes in a variety of really exciting colors. The Coeco Sport comes in a variety of different modes. The model is designated by the color configuration. So you have the Classic, which always has gold trim. You have the Skyline, which is opaque material with a silver trim. And then you have the Frosted, which is a translucent material with silver trim. And the thing I love about these pens is they're small, they're great travel companions. You can just throw it in your bag or in your pocket and be on the go. It's always there for you. The JoWo made steel nibs are reliable writers, and it's a great pen for around $25. The Noodler's Ahab is probably the most different pen of the bunch here in that it has a flexible nib. Now this is something that in theory is very desirable to somebody new to fountain pens, but I will say it's the most finicky and the most complicated to use of any of the fountain pens I'm talking about here. So just kind of be aware of that, but it can be a lot of fun to play with, especially if you're into calligraphy and Spencerian, copperplate, things like that. It can be a lot of fun. It has a huge ink capacity. You can eyedropper convert it and get up to 6 milliliters of ink in this thing, and you can write for quite a long time. And for around 23 bucks, it's not a bad deal, especially because if you don't love the flex, you can put a number 6 nib in it and have a more conventional pen. Then you have the Pilot Kikuno. It's really tough to go wrong with this one. It's under $15. It's made from Pilot Japan, which has the same stainless steel nibs that are really reliable, write really consistently as all their other steel nib pens. The only difference is these pens have an adorable smiley face on them that varies depending on the nib size. And you can even add a converter and use bottled ink with it, or you can stick with cartridges. There's also several different color options, and because the cap is different from the body, you can mix and match between them and have a lot of fun making them different. Pilot actually markets these as kid pens in Japan, but honestly, most of the people I know that use them are adults. We are traveling around the world here now, going back to Germany with Lommy. This specifically is the Lommy logo, which often gets overlooked by pens like the Safari and the All-Star in the Studio. This is a super thin design. I think this is going to especially feel comfortable if you're coming over from like the mechanical pencil world. It's got that kind of vibe to it. It's pretty thin. It's got a nice textured grip, so it gives you a really firm hold onto it. It's got a stainless steel body. It's got a really sleek design. And it's got swappable stainless steel Lommy nibs. So if you have other Lommy pens, you can swap between them. You can buy spare nibs and change it out. Pretty practical at around $40. The most expensive of the bunch here, which kind of pushes the upper limits of our list, but is definitely worth a mention, is the TWSBI Mini. The Mini kind of gets overshadowed by its bigger brother, the 580, which is kind of more of the flagship TWSBI pen, but it's right in there in terms of quality and usability as like the TWSBI Go, Eco. These are all things that are worth mentioning. It's got a clear demonstrator with a piston filling mechanism that's valued right at around $50, and it's got a nice nib offering between extra fine and 1.1. All right, and the last one we have on the list here is the Monteverde Tool Pen. And let's see if this thing measures up. This one is packed with a bunch of different features that are completely non-pen related, which makes it a really interesting gift item, especially if you have somebody who's just a very handy, practical person. So some of the things that this pen has, it has 2 screwdrivers in the back. You can just flip the bit around in the back. It has a bubble level. It has multiple rulers with different measurements. It has a stylus tip that you can use on your electronic devices. And it has a straight edge that you can draw along if you're doing any type of design work. Now because it has all these features in here, it doesn't take a converter, but it will take a standard international short cartridge. So the way to start out is you screw the cap onto the nib. You hold it and pull with a decent amount of force, and that pulls your whole nib unit out. Pull the old cartridge off, take a new cartridge, put it on, and then the arrow that's right here lines up with the clip of the pen. Press it in place, unscrew the cap, and you're good to go. And at $40, this makes a great pen for yourself or for others. So these are some of our favorites, but obviously there are so many more that we could recommend, and we'd love to know what you think too, so be sure to leave in the comments what pens you think are really good underrated pens. Be sure to subscribe and like this video if you found it to be entertaining, and you can check out more about these pens and a lot of great other ones on gouletpens.com. Thanks so much for watching, and right on.